Hi kids, we're back again with the magic sneakers. Uh, we left off, here's the line. Jimmy gulped. Was he being taken to the White House to see the president? From one of us. Hello Jimmy, the Secret Service man said as he helped the boy out of the Jeep. Welcome aboard Air Force One. He led Jimmy by his hand up the steps into the plane and directly to a round table where a man was seated. The man looked up as the two approached and motioned the Secret Service man to withdraw. Thank you, John, he said. Jimmy gulped again. It was indeed the President of the United States. "Oh, Jimmy," said the President, putting his arm around Jimmy's shoulder. "Nice to meet you. Please join me." He sat Jimmy beside him and called a steward to bring some refreshments. "We're going to take a little flight. You can tell me all about what's going on with you." With that, the engines roared to life and the plane taxied down the runway. Jimmy could see the ground quickly receding from the window, and suddenly they were airborne, with the lights of the city quickly becoming specks below them. The President didn't even ask Jimmy about his magic powers. Instead, he asked him about school, about his friends, what sports, movies he liked, all kinds of stuff. He then told him of his own childhood, how tough it could be at times growing up, dealing with different people at school and so on. Jimmy really liked him and felt they were becoming best friends. At one point he almost told him about the fateful shopping trip with his mother and how the magic sneakers had changed his life and how much fun he'd had flying around at the beach and how he'd escaped from the bullies. But somehow he held back. He wondered how long he'd be able to keep his secret. As if reading his mind, the President said, "Jimmy, I know something has happened to you that is very unusual. And of course I know all about your flying adventures. I'm not going to ask you to reveal how you acquired these abilities, as I feel when you're ready to tell me you will. As you know, I am Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Services, and I'll tell you right now, we're on the way to the Pentagon to meet my Chiefs of Staff." Just as Billy predicted," Jimmy said. "Billy? Who's Billy?" the President asked. "Oh, he's my best friend. He said they'd take me to the Pentagon." "Well," continued the President, "he's smart. He's a smart young fellow just like you. Now what I'd like you to do is to meet these gentlemen at the Pentagon and give them a little demonstration of your abilities. You see, the security of the United States is uppermost in my mind right now, and any advantage we might be able to gain over the enemies of our country is of the utmost importance. You might be wondering what possible use a flying boy might be. Well, we have no intention of putting you in the slightest danger. All we want to do is to see if we can understand the technology behind your power and to somehow gain the advantages we seek. For example, if we could replicate what you're able to do, our commandos could silently fly over enemy territory at night, completely undetected, review the landscape, land at will, and quickly escape in a flash when necessary. But even more important, if we could harness the power to run industrial military machinery and transportation, we would have no further reliance on oil, or any fossil fuels for that matter. Our environment would return to the pristine condition that existed before the world became so heavily populated. From an economic perspective, there would be untold abundance for every man, woman, and child in the land. Jimmy was dumbfounded. He hadn't thought of all that. Could he, just a boy, really save the world in this way? But then reality set in. He worked up the courage to voice his opinion. "Mr. President, sir, assuming all this could be accomplished, and frankly I don't think I have that much power, but if it could, what about the rest of the world? Wouldn't we be very selfish if we kept this new technology to ourselves? I mean, if we are to stop global warming, every country in the world would need this free energy." Good question, Jimmy. My, you certainly are one smart little tyke, aren't you?" the President says, jabbing Jimmy in the ribs. "But the fact is, while you're absolutely right, We really must be cautious for the time being. We will have to move very slowly, even in our own country. You see, if a technology of this magnitude were to be suddenly unleashed, it would cause economic chaos. Whole industries would come to a screeching halt, such as the oil and electrical industries. Millions of people would be suddenly thrown out of work. If we can truly adapt this power of yours and enable other people to have it, we must first start with the military. Again, I must emphasize our national security and not allowing our enemies to have this knowledge to be able to use against us. It occurred to Jimmy that the president was expecting a lot from him. If he knew the power came from one pair of tennis shoes, he may suddenly have a different attitude. Unless they could put the tennis shoes in some kind of magic duplicating machine, he didn't see how other people could get the power. Another thought occurred to him was that if the government had the secret to the power, would they really give it to mankind? Or would they keep it for themselves? After all, politicians have friends in high places. It is the big businesses that finance their campaigns. He'd heard about his parents talk about this. Also, he'd heard his dad say that sometimes important inventions are stifled by big business if they think they will affect their profit structure. But then the president had said that free power would result in untold abundance. Now he was really confused. I suppose the president meant eventually, he mused. It certainly made sense that it couldn't suddenly be given to the entire world. Well, continued the president, we have had a wonderful talk, Jimmy, and I know that the good citizen that you are going to want only the best for your country, and will share with my Joint Chiefs of Staff all that you know so they can find ways to adapt the power for the benefit of our people. Let's get some rest and we'll be on the East Coast in a couple of hours. I have some appointments to keep, so I won't be able to accompany you to the Pentagon, but I'll certainly see you later at the White House. You're going to be my guest. We've reserved the Lincoln bedroom for you for the foreseeable future. I hope you're not afraid of ghosts. Various guests have reported having seen the great man from time to time. Jimmy furrowed his brow. He wasn't worried about ghosts. He didn't believe in anything like that, but he was looking forward to visiting the White House. He just wondered how long he'd have to stay. Don't worry, replied the president, as if reading his mind again. Your parents will be joining us tomorrow, and they'll be taking you home in a day or two. The president's remarks calmed Jimmy considerably, and now he was looking forward to his stay in Washington. Jimmy did not see the president again until after the plane landed, and then he just saw him whisked away in his motorcade. Meantime, he was greeted by an army officer as he exited the plane and was escorted to a waiting jeep by two soldiers wearing sidearms. They were joined by three more jeeps as they drove away. Okay, that's the end of Chapter 3. Chapter 4, the Pentagon, will start next time. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. Hope you're enjoying the story.